going to go on. So we've been doing proportions recently, right? And we've been doing proportions so we can start talking about similar figures, because that's what we use to solve similar figures. So we're going to talk about what the definition of a similar figure is first, and then we're going to go on and solve some similar figures. Okay, so a similar figure is two shapes are similar when one can become the other after a resize and a flip, slide, or turn. So similar figures, there's a couple pictures up there. The triangles are just resized. The little blobby thingies are resized and reflected, and the pentagons are resized and rotated. So two shapes are similar. When two shapes are similar, wow, I can't even read. Corresponding angles are equal. So all these angles, if I look at the, let's see if I can get a color that will show up here. The angles here, this angle and this angle are equal. This angle and this angle are equal. And this angle and this angle are equal. Just like on the pentagon, the corresponding angles are all equal. And I guess if you want to look at this little blobby thingy, this angle and this angle would be equal also, because that's really the only two angles on that blobby thingy. Those would all be equal. And then also the lines are in proportion, which means I can set up a proportion between any two sides, and all the sides would be equal in proportion. Remember when we simplified the proportion to see if they were a proportion, or we cross-multiply to see if they were equal? I could do that with any two sets of sides, and they would be equal. So they form a proportion, okay? The symbol, it's kind of small. I'm just going to kind of zoom in so you can see it. The symbol for proportion is just this little wavy sign, right? It's just a little line that's a wave. Okay, and it means similar. So this means similar. And then congruent, then I have a definition here for congruent. I was going to change it and I forgot to, sorry. Oh wow, everyone's here today.
Really?
Well, not everyone, but everyone that normally comes. Congruent, shapes are congruent when they have the same size, but they might have been rotated, reflected, or moved. So congruent means that they are the same size. They've just been translated a little bit, right? Transformed, not dilated. So the sign for congruent, I know that we've talked about this before, is this. This means congruent. So it's an equal sign with the similar on top. So that's congruent. So this is what we say similar figures are. They're the same shape. They're exactly the same shape, but they're different sizes. Okay, so that's how we know they're similar. They're the same shape, different size. Is there any questions so far on the definition of similar? Okay, so we're going to kind of take a look at it just using triangles, because those are the smallest shape we're going to look at. So sometimes they'll be bigger. So we're just going to look at the triangle here. So what we can say here is we can make several conclusions because it says it's similar. So I can say angle, oh, sorry. I hate when I have the highlighter there. I can say that angle A is congruent to the corresponding angle. So this angle is angle A. What's the angle that matches that in the other triangle? Which angle matches that in the other triangle?
F.
Yeah, angle F. Good. And then angle B is congruent to angle G. Good. And angle C is congruent to angle H. Okay. Is there any questions on that? So those angles, so I'm just going to make up some measurements here. Okay. Don't quote me on this, okay? So if this angle equaled, let's say 60 degrees, then F would be 60 degrees, okay? They have to be the same. Yeah? That's all it's saying. Congruent means they're they're the same, okay? Is everyone okay with that? So now we're going to talk about the sides. And I'm going to say, I'm just going to pick, I'm going to highlight the sides though. I'm going to say this side is corresponding to this side, right? And then this side is corresponding to that side. And then this bottom side corresponds to this side. So now I can make some proportions, and I can make a proportional statement that says AB over, and I want to make sure when I said this, because I said AB, I started with A and I went to B. I started here and I went to here. So I'm going to start at F and I'm going to go to G. Does that make sense? So I'm going to say FG. It's got to be equal to, and I'm just going to go around my triangle this way, BC over GH, which has got to be equal to, and we're going to complete this triangle by going this way, CA over HF, okay? So those are my proportions I can set up to do this with. Is there any questions on that? So I can make those proportions. That means if I have, I can pick any two of those and do what we've been doing, cross multiplying and dividing, and solve for a missing side. And then if I have a circle, oh my gosh, if we start working with circles this year, which I'm hoping that we'll have time to do, all circles are similar. So it doesn't matter what size they are, right? Because a circle is just a different, they're the same shape, right? A circle is a circle is a circle, right? They're just different sizes. So they've been dilated. So that means that they're similar, right? Same shape, different size. So that's just the definition of different size circles. So all circles are similar. Is there any questions so far? Is everyone doing okay?
Yep.
Okay, awesome. So now we're just going to use this information and we're going to solve. So this says find the missing side of the similar figure. So some of them will say that, and some, just so you know, on some on your homework will say like find side AB. So you'll just have to go find AB and put your X on that side. Does that make sense? So go ahead and fill in your X there. And we might have some like that today. I can't remember if we do in the examples this morning. I'm sorry. So there's two different ways I can set up the proportion for this. Okay? So I can say, here's my X. By the way, I have this X. My corresponding side is this one. And then I want to look and see what two sides I actually know. So I know I have two sides on the bigger trapezoid, but on the smaller trapezoid, I only have one side, which is this one, which is the 24. So which side corresponds to 24? 40. Good. So those are the two numbers I'm going to use. And I can set my proportion up two different ways. I can say, and sorry, I'm going to make this a little bigger so the guys in the room here can see it. I can say X over 9.4 equals, and since I started with the X, this triangle on the top, this one also has to be on the top, 40 over 24. Okay, so this is my large on top, large, and this is my small one. Okay, I can also do it this way. I could also say X over 40 equals 9.4 over 24. And I could say large this way and my small one this way. It doesn't matter which way I do it, if I do it in rows or columns, just as long as they match. Does that make sense? Did that make sense to everybody? Okay, so notice that everything to do with my large trapezoid is here, everything to do with my small trapezoid is here, same thing here. My large ones are here and my small ones are here. Okay, so make sure you line it up. And now all you have to do is what we did yesterday and the day before, cross multiply and divide. So I've got, let's see, X times 24 is 24X equals 9.4 times 40, 376. And then I'm going to divide by 24. And x is going to equal, divide by 24.
That's what I did too.
What?
Cross multiplying.
Yeah, that's what you do. Is going to be approximately equal to 15.7. Any questions? I know that most of you guys, and I saw your homework yesterday, that at least those of you guys who were here and worked on it, you were able to do the proportions pretty easily, right? It's now what we're doing is we're adding an additional step where we're actually setting up. I'm giving you some figures, and now you're setting up the proportion. So now let's go ahead and go to the next one. Oh, we have a triangle. This one, oh, it doesn't tell me which side to find. I think I blocked that one out. So we're just going to go ahead and find this side. Wow, okay. So I'm going to find this side right here, DE, just because I didn't write down which side I was supposed to find. I'm so sorry. So I'm going to make it up right now. We're going to find side FE. So I'm going to say x over 18. So I'm going to highlight all my like sides. I'm going to do this one over this one. And I know this side, which means my matching side is the 15. So I've got 10 over 15. And then I'm going to cross multiply and divide again. So I've got 15x equals 180. Divide by 15. X is going to equal 12 centimeters. This one is actually labeled, so I need to make sure I label it.
There's an easier way to do it.
Probably.
You could multiply,
I could probably simplify this to 2 over
no, you could divide 15.
2/3, and then I multiply by 6,
You
so.
could divide 15 by 10, and then the answer of that, you could divide 18 by that.
Yeah, that's what I was just talking about.
Oh. But it seems faster doing it that way.
Yeah. There's people that can see that, yeah. But I want to make sure that the people who can't see it have one steady way to do it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, guys. Next page. I think that's it on this. Yeah, okay. So we're going to do 3 more together, and then you guys are going to do, I don't know, I think 6 problems. So here we go. I'm going to highlight the things that we need to find again. So I know I'm going to find x. Luckily here, they only give me 4 bits of information, which is kind of nice. So I've got 15 over 20 is going to equal 6 over x. Cross multiply and divide. So I've got 15x equals 120. Divide by 15. Oh, it is 120. X equals 8 inches. Done. Question. You guys at home okay? No one's saying anything.
No.
They never say anything to me. You guys never talk to me. Thanks, Zoe. Okay. Again, they've just given me just enough information. I don't have to go searching for extra stuff, which is kind of nice. So I've got 2 over 3 equals x over 18. And so if I cross multiply and divide, right, I've got 3x equals, thank you, 36. Divide by 3. X equals 12 inches. Beautiful. And I think the next one is a little bit harder. The last one is a little teeny bit harder. Because we got 2 triangles here. And I'm going to highlight my triangle. So I've got this little triangle here, right? And then I've got this great big triangle here. Okay? So I know For my little triangle, I've got 4 over 12. Let me write over here. I've got 4, oh, whew, whew. Okay, let's try this again. I've got 4 over 12, yes? But for my big triangle, how long is this side? Ooh.
20 inches.
So this whole side is just 20 inches?
No. Oh, 24.
How'd you get 24?
You gotta add 20.
Yeah, so this side right here is 20, and then this side is 4, so the whole side is 24 over x. Everyone okay with that? Do you guys see that? Okay, so then I'm going to cross multiply, and I'm going to get 4x is going to equal 288? 288 divided by 4, x is going to equal 72 inches. Thank you. 72 inches. I didn't even need I only need a calculator for 288. Okay, so now what you guys are going to do, you're going to spend the next few little minutes working on figuring out the answers for these 6 problems. I'm going to try and make it so you guys can see it, although, let me choose there we go. So there we go. There's 6 problems here for you guys to do. I'd like you to find the answers for them, please. I'll try and make it big enough that you guys can see it in here. Although Ketlin has the page. Okay, go over and do them. Does that sound okay? For those of you who are still here and paying attention. So we've got, for number 1, x is going to equal 12 meters. For number 2, x is going to equal 2 meters. I think they're almost all, oh no. I was like, are they all meters? Number 3, I don't know why I wrote a 3 there. Number 3, x equals 2 inches. Number 4, x equals 5.25 meters. If you guys need me to do any of them, just speak up and let me know or type it in the chat box. Number 5 is x equals 4.5 inches. And number 6 is x equals 110 centimeters. Centimeters. Okay? You guys doing okay with that? Any questions at home? Everyone here's got them right. So, is there any questions at home? Ketlin, don't make me threaten you on camera, on recording.
She's recording.